Hi, this is Michael. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm doing an oracle card reading for the energy of the collective for the waning moon phase of the current lunar cycle. The waning moon is the period between the full moon and the new moon, when the illuminated area of the moon is becoming smaller. Overall, the waning phase is a time for introspection, regrouping, releasing, healing, and rest. The waning moon truly encompasses three phases: the waning gibbous, also known as the disseminating phase, the last quarter, also known as the third quarter, and the waning crescent, also known as the balsamic phase. During this waning phase, the moon moves through Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and Cancer. This reading will be specifically for the period of July 21st through July 29th. My sincere apologies for getting this video out late. It's very late, so better late than never, I suppose. The waning moon started with the disseminating phase, which is when you often find yourself falling into a slump, especially if the results of your intentions and goals were not immediately seen with the full moon. If that's the case for you, just keep your head high and trust in the process. You can share with others what you may have learned from your experiences over the past couple of weeks. Make sure to go easy on yourself, accept what is, and then begin regrouping. The waning phase is a time to enjoy a little break, especially if you've been working hard on manifesting your dreams. The waning phase isn't necessarily a time for outward action, but more so a time to start focusing inwards. Some extra meditation and introspection during this time would be beneficial. You may notice that your insight is heightened during the waning phase, so this will be a great time for using divination of all types. And it's also a powerful time to focus on personal shadow work. The waning phase in general is associated with letting go of what no longer serves you, so also take a look at yourself and release any fears or self-limiting beliefs that may be holding you back. You could even do a simple releasing ritual during this time. Make a list of all the things that you wish to release, things like negative thought patterns or feelings, bad habits, unhealthy attachments. Light a candle or a fire, and then meditate with the list in front of the fire, thinking about each item to be released. And then you safely burn the list, and visualize all those things floating away with the smoke. I personally use tissue paper for this, as it burns the easiest. And if you don't want to use fire, you could even write your list on toilet paper and flush it down the toilet, visualizing all those things going down the drain, washing away, going back into Mother Earth for healing. Or you could even create your own releasing ritual. Feel free to be creative, but just keep it simple. The important parts are really the visualization and your intention behind the releasing ritual. The moon's releasing energy started to peak on the 24th with the last quarter phase, so this is always an optimal time for doing the releasing ritual. Any point between the full moon and the new moon is really the best time, but the last quarter is especially potent for this. The last quarter is the best time to give up any bad habits or addictions, and to remove yourself from any unhealthy situations or relationships. You can also use this powerful energy to unburden yourself of all grudges, regrets, anger, and guilt. This is also a good time for settling disputes and making amends, so get closure by apologizing for anything you feel guilty for, speak honestly with anyone you have unresolved issues with, and forgive yourself and others for any wrongdoing. Then with the balsamic phase, which started on the 28th, it became a time for surrender, rest, and healing. The balsamic phase marks the end of the lunar cycle, so this is the time to fully surrender to the process, completely let go of all that no longer serves you, and make space for planting seeds again at the time of the new moon, which will be just around the corner, especially now that I'm so late with the reading. You can use the last of the moon's waning energy for purification and cleansing, so clear out stale energy and create space for the new by focusing on meditation, self-analysis, and inner reflection. And also by decluttering and smudging your home with things like sage, sweetgrass, or Palo Santo. This final phase is about rest and relaxation, which will allow you to fully heal and prepare for the upcoming new moon. So with that being said, let's get started with the collective reading and see what the cards have to tell us. I've laid out a card here to assist with the energy of the reading. It's the Waning Moon card from the Moonology Oracle deck. The message is, what do you need to release? And for the reading today, I'll be using the Wisdom of the Oracle deck from Colette Baron Reed. I already meditated and shuffled before we started, but we'll go ahead and give it another quick shuffle here. And just a reminder that this is a general reading, so all of it may not resonate with you. Just take whatever does and leave the rest. And once again, this is going to be a Waning Moon Oracle reading for the collective for the period of July 21st through July 29th. Alright, let's get started. Okay, for this first card, we're looking for what is the current energy of the collective. We'll take this one. Okay, and we've got round and round. Round and round. So some of you may be stuck in a cycle of thoughts or a cycle of actions. You may keep going around with someone, with a certain situation even. You may feel stuck in the current situation you're in. So some of you may need to work on breaking out of these patterns you might be in. Some of you could have a hard time focusing at this moment, like your thoughts are swirling. Or you may just not have a clear vision of where you're going or where you want to be. Or some of you may have noticed things coming back into your life, things from the past. We're getting near the end of Mercury retrograde, and during that there's a tendency for old people, old patterns, old habits, old things to come back into our life. So some of you may have been experiencing that recently or going through that currently. These things are usually brought back into our life for us to take a look at, re-examine, break that cycle. Okay, for this next card, we're looking for what may be blocking the collective from stepping into their highest potential. What may be blocking the collective? And we've got Unfinished Symphony. Symphony. Can't speak. Unfinished Symphony. So what may be blocking the collective? Some of you may have some unfinished business, maybe with a particular person or a business venture even. Some of you may have made some significant plans and they haven't quite come together, so you may be down or upset about that. So that may be holding you back or blocking you. May be difficult for you to see the end. Some of you may have broken off a significant relationship, so you might be feeling really down and depressed about that. That might be holding you back and blocking you. You may feel like there was some unfinished business there, or like you were really meant to be, but you're having a hard time getting over that. For some of you, you could just be having a mental block, like a writer's block of sorts with your life. Not quite sure what direction to take. You may just be at a standstill. Or some of you may just be lacking closure with a certain situation. Or you may need to make amends with someone. Okay, for this next card, how can we effectively release these blocks? How can we effectively release these blocks? Okay. We've got Loyal Heart. Loyal Heart. Okay, so looking at these things with a full open heart, being compassionate to yourself or compassionate to the ones that you may have unresolved issues with. It's also leaning on your loved ones for help and support with this. It's also treating all things with unconditional love, finding and seeing the lessons in these things. Or maybe you need to treat yourself with more love, more self-love, more self-care. You may need to tend to your own heart instead of worrying about the heart of another. It's also knowing that you hold the keys that you need to finish this symphony if you feel it is your destiny, what you're drawn to do, what you're meant to do. This card's also about devotion, so it's being devoted to yourself to overcome those things or to complete those things. Okay, for this next card, what habits or behaviors may be holding the collective back at this time? What habits or behaviors may be holding the collective back? we've got blessed. Blessed. So some of you may be in the habit of not believing that you are truly deserving of things. Maybe in the habit of keeping a lack mindset, not feeling abundant or not feeling blessed. Some of you may not show gratitude enough, let others know that you are grateful, which in turn brings you more blessings. Could be that some of you are too vain, maybe not seeing the blessings that are in front of you. Some of you may not show appreciation for others, or you may take others for granted. So this card's asking you to show humility. Okay, for this next card, what needs to be healed by the collective during this waning moon phase? And we've got peace. Peace. So some of you may need to find inner peace, may need to work on your inner peace, or possibly making peace with your loved ones or your friends or family. You may have some unresolved issues or discrepancies, so you may need to work on clearing those up. You may need to extend an olive branch to someone. Some of you may be going through a difficult situation at this time, so it's just finding the peace in that, knowing that there is light at the end of the tunnel. Some of you may need to just make peace with a situation, leave things behind, leave whatever is not serving you behind. This card's also about freedom from attachment. So some of you may need to realize how attached you are or may have been to someone, or just knowing that you're complete all on your own, all by yourself. You don't need that person. Some of you may need to just quiet your mind, find peace in your mind. So you may need to work on meditating more, finding some quiet time, just focusing on the silence, the peace and quiet. Okay, for this next card, we're looking for what adjustments should the collective make to prepare for the upcoming new moon. What adjustments should the collective make to prepare for the upcoming new moon? And we've got come to the edge. Come to the edge. So some of you may need to be a little more daring or courageous. Some of you may be fearful to take that next step or take a leap of faith in your current situation. So it's overcoming that fear. Also accepting the risk. This card's asking you to face the unknown, to come to the edge, dance on the edge. You may need to live life more playful, more joyful, more carefree. Some of you may have a hard time expressing yourself, so it's making that effort. Some of you may be fearful of the future or fearful of the unknown, so it's just trusting in the process, trusting the universe, knowing that you're in the right place at the right time. Okay, for this last card, we're looking for a message for the collective from the universe. Message for the collective from the universe. And we've got building blocks. Building blocks. So yeah, very similar to the last card in my last reading, I think. Some of you may have built a very firm foundation, very solid foundation, whether it be in a physical sense or in a spiritual sense. So the universe just wants you to know to keep building on that, keep adding to your foundation. There's different color blocks here, so from adding different elements. It's also about focusing on the future, keeping your eye on the future, having a clear vision of where you want to be or what you want to build. Or the universe may want you to know that it recognizes that you are a beautiful work in progress. This card's also a reminder that some of you may be attracting new relationships or new people into your life. And it could be more solid ones that you've had recently. For those of you in long-standing relationships, it's just knowing that you already have a firm foundation laid. There may be some repairs needed, some cracks in the foundation, so you may need to just work on strengthening that, repairing those fractures. For some of you, you could have ignored these signs too long, and the foundation could be crumbling. So if that's the case for you, just don't be afraid to rebuild, replace, start over. For some of you, I'm seeing this as downloads or upgrades even. It may be coming in for us, coming in for the collective. Okay, so during this waning moon phase, what little bit is left of it anyway, you should focus on what you need to release. You may be holding on to feelings of unfinished business, unresolved issues, or resentment even. Or you may have circular thought, repeating patterns, repeating thoughts, or even people, exes, things that may have shown up in your life again. So it's taking a closer look, seeing what you no longer need, what no longer serves you. Work on releasing those things, making peace with those parties, making peace with yourself. Forgive yourself and forgive others. Make amends. And in the process, treat yourself and others with unconditional love. Look at things from a bigger picture with an open heart. And focus on getting out there, spreading your love, spreading your joy. Have the courage to be yourself, to express your true self. Don't be afraid to take a leap of faith if needed. Trust in the universe. Know that you're truly blessed. Keep working on building that future, adding to that firm foundation you already have. Make sure to have a clear vision of where you want to be, where you want to go. And with the Leo new moon coming up, it's focusing on that moon, using its power with your intentions to manifest your dreams. And we should all focus on building ourselves up to a higher existence, a higher vibration, a higher frequency, to the blessed life that we want and deserve. Okay, so that's my reading for this waning moon phase. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for tuning in.